Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Austin. Thank you very much. So there you have it. You've heard from the advocates. You've heard from the administrators here. You've heard from the parents. And you heard through me from the children as well, as best I could describe. But I think what you're hearing overall is from the community, the need for more affordable, quality child care to help parents work and to know that their children are in a safe environment. And that's what we're here today to announce our continued fight towards that effort. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions you may have for myself, or the parents, or the administrators.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you describe a little bit about how the Child Care and Development Block Grant works? Is it just given to the schools? Is it given to the
No, it's given basically through the city and to the states, and then to the cities. Federal dollars are then matched by city and state grants as well to help parents afford that opportunity.
And does this just go to public education or to private institutions?
No, this will go to private institutions
Yes,
as well.
it goes to private.
Yeah.
The Child
Oh, go ahead.
Development Block Grant is designed to help all families who are eligible based on their income. That includes New York State, and it includes Wyoming, it includes across the country. Congressman Crowley's legislation increases the Child Development Block Grant. Its federal funding comes to New York State, and New York State is required to add to that funding amount, as is New York City.
Okay, then do schools apply for it, or how would they receive
It depends. They apply for it via the Administration for Children's Services. Parents who are on public assistance who receive TANF, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Children. But those who are working and those who are in school are eligible for a child care subsidy. Now, they do have to pay a portion. It's not free, and that's what I was trying to emphasize. It's a help, and that's what he's trying to do. He's saying the legislation, the Children's First Act says, I'm giving you some help. The child care cost at this particular center is $100. I'm going to give you $100 a week. I'm going to give you 75, and you have to pay the rest. So it depends on their income, how much they pay towards the child care, but it's a help. I don't want, sometimes we think when we put forth, when we have congressmen who takes the leadership and put forth legislation for an increase, that it's a handout. It is a help.
I think what Andrea's emphasizing is that the need to help people help themselves. And what you have are families that are struggling to make ends meet. Both parents, or if it's a single mom or a single dad working, have to work, and they have no place for their child to go if they're not in school. And what this gives is an opportunity for the parent to work, and to work even harder by having both parents work, to help lift their family out of poverty and into the middle class and forward, and knowing at the same time that the child is in a safe environment. That's what this funding is about. It's a national program through a block grant, as was described, and then given to the states where they match, and then eligibility based on the income of that family and how much they would receive.
Do you have any idea where this funding would come from in the national budget?
Well, it's part of the general fund of the national budget. So as we prioritize what our goals of America are we really here to help struggling families get out of poverty? If we are, this is a program that I think is worth investing in. I understand, in terms of the size of the pot, and it gets redistributed every year. What I'm saying is we need to emphasize more resources towards this fund to help working families continue to work, but raise their families in a proper environment as well.
Has a bill like this ever been introduced before?
It has. Obviously, the block grant was created, so therefore it was done by law, and it has been increased over time. But we've seen, really in Washington, a retrenchment. We see Republicans, particularly in the House of Representatives, cutting and slashing a lot of programs that have been helping the neediest amongst us. This year we had a tremendous battle on food stamps and SNAP, where we saw the Republicans tried to cut by $40 billion that program. They were not successful in cutting it by $40 billion, but they made billions of dollars in cuts in that program. And that is not helping working families make ends meet. And what we're suggesting is don't do the same here. In fact, we need an increase. What I'm happy to see is that the president's budget has an increase for early childhood education in the block grant. And I'd like to see that through. It actually matches what we're asking for as well. So we want to be the advocate, I'm going to be the advocate for this issue in the House of Representatives to make sure that my constituents in Corona and other parts of Queens and Bronx that I represent and the Bronx that I represent are going to be heard on this issue, that we want more resources dedicated towards this.
It says there's 2.6 million children that receive federal subsidies or vouchers to help finish their costs of childcare. Is that nationally or just in New York State?
I think that's probably nationally, I think overall, yeah.
And have you had support for this expansion?
Well, we're introducing it today. We have a number of colleagues who have indicated that their willingness to sign on and be co-sponsors of it as well. So, and we believe that that number will grow the more my colleagues learn about the introduction of the legislation.
And you said, it says here you introduced it in the 111th and 112th Congress.
I did with Senator Kerry as well.
And what was the?
Well, we didn't pass them in either one, but that doesn't stop us, and we think the emphasis now, having President Obama in the White House and in this position to help, right now, we feel confident we'll see this increase. I feel very confident we'll see an increase. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you think it would go to the floor this term?
Well, that's, how we'll get to the floor is the question, and whether it comes in the president's budget may be an opportunity for us to have our say in that if the Republicans take the president's budget up. It may find its way into the Senate budget, which we'd hope that it would do that as well. And if my Republican colleagues would give me the opportunity to have this bill on the floor, I know that this bill would pass if it was given the opportunity to be on the floor itself. So we ask, we'll play that as it goes along. We'll see what opportunities present themselves for us to really to fight for this issue.